And welcome back to another Java tutorial. My name is Kelvin from Firehawk Productions. In the last tutorial, I taught you how to install the Java IDE as well as the Java JDK. And so from where we left off last time, we downloaded Eclipse. And so I told you to extract it anywhere. And as for me, I had it on the desktop. So let's just go ahead and open that up. We're going to start. And you're going to see this thing pop up. This just basically asks you where you want to save your work. So for me, I'm just going to change the path instead of the default one and just press OK. And then it's going to start loading. Okay, so first off, we can just go to the workbench right here. Okay, so you're going to start up seeing this screen, and I'm going to explain to you a couple of things in just a bit. So for now, what you want to do is start a new Java project. So you can right click in this window here, New Java Project. So now just give it a name. I'm just going to name it Tutorials. Okay, and then press Finish. So okay, within this Java project, you're going to see a source and the JRE system library. Okay, we're not going to touch the JRE system library, and all we're going to worry about is the source. So as you can see, it's empty right now. So what you want to do is right click, click on New Class. Okay, and you can just give it a name. I'm just going to call it Tutorial 1 or Tutorial 1, no spaces. And as you can see, everything's all set up for you in the beginning. You'll notice here that it says Public Class Tutorial 1. For you, it might be different. You might have named your class differently, but I named mine Tutorial 1. And so for now, let's try something really simple. Okay, let's try printing the words "Hello World" onto the screen. So just follow what I do, and I'll explain to you everything later on. So type in public static void main open brackets string args, so ARGS, and then open and close square brackets, and then in the end type in the open curly brackets and press enter. So you'll notice that there's an open curly bracket here and it ends here, and there's also open curly bracket for the public class Tutorial 1 that ends here. Okay, so let's try printing the words "Hello World." So follow what I do. System dot out dot print ln open brackets open quotations hello world close quotations, and at the end put a semicolon. So like this. Okay, I'll explain to you what everything means in just a sec, but let's try to test it for now. Okay, so go ahead and press this run button up here, this green play button. Press run, and it's going to tell you to save and launch, so just go ahead and save. And then right here you're going to see a console pop up, and it's going to say "Hello World." So yay, it works. So the reason why the console tab popped up, if you remember from last tutorial, we opened something called a command line, and it looks something like this. Remember this? This is the built-in Windows console. Okay, and we used this to look at the Java compiler, and a bunch of stuff popped up. So Eclipse has its own console, which is really convenient because you don't have to open the built-in Windows command line to test your program every time. Instead, Eclipse has a built-in console that helps you test your code. Okay, so you can go ahead and play around with whatever's in here. You can do like, I don't know, Kelvin is teaching a Java tutorial. Press play, save. Kelvin's teaching a Java tutorial. Okay, so what in the world does all this mean? Okay, let's start with the public static void main. So I'll explain to you what public static and void means later on. But main, okay, whenever you run your program, whenever the Java compiler looks inside your class, it's gonna always look for a main method. Okay, now if you don't have a main method, then the Java compiler is gonna be like, hey, there's no main method. There's nothing for me to run, so I'm not gonna run anything for you. So let's say if we change this from main to, I don't know, program, and if you try running it, save and launch, press OK, it's going to say error, main method not found in class tutorial 1. Please define main method as. So you see here, this is how you define your main method. And obviously there's no main method in here, so it's going to give the error. So let's change it back to main. Okay. And within your main, within these brackets, you're going to see string with a capital S, args. What this means is inside your main method, you're going to have a string of arguments. Okay, and then there's a open close square brackets. You can actually change this args to anything. You can just say something, string something. Okay, and if you press save and try running it again, it's still going to work. But for learning's sake, let's just use args, which stands for arguments. Okay, so what about this line right here? Let's start from the beginning. You have system, which means it tells your system to output and print the line. Whoops, and print the line. Kelvin is teaching a Java tutorial! Exclamation mark. And notice that you have to put these within quotations. Now, why does it have to be in quotations? Well, when things are in quotations, it means that it's a string. And what's a string? A string is just a sequence of characters, or words, or a sentence. So, for example, this would be a string. If I just do like hello, hello is a string. Anything in quotations is a string, and it can be anything. It could be like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2, 3 could be a string. You can have I don't know, hello 1, 2, 3. That's also a string, as long as they're in quotations. So it's just a sequence of characters that make up a string. Okay. Now if you look at the end, there's a semicolon. Semicolon is really important in Java because it tells Java where the line of code ends. So for instance, right here, this is one line of code. Okay. Now if I don't put the semicolon and I backspace and I move on to the next line and I try to do the same thing, I do system.out.println, this is a new line, close quotations. Java's going to give me an error and say, dude, syntax error, insert semicolon to complete block statements. So in order for Java to know that your line of code has ended, it needs to have a semicolon. Okay, and this also needs to have a semicolon. And when you do that, then Java gives no errors. You're safe to run your code, maybe. Let's try it out. So save, and let's try running it again. So Kelvin is teaching a new Java tutorial. This is a new line. Okay, so now what if I don't put a semicolon? Okay, I erase both of them. And I try saving it again, and I'm going to try running it. Okay, error exists in required projects. Proceed with launch. Java's giving me a warning, and I'm just going to say proceed. It's going to say it's not going to work because you need semicolons to complete your line of code. So remember, semicolons is really important in Java. As soon as I put these in, press save. it's going to work again. Okay, and I think that's about it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to be teaching you something called variables, and that's going to be really fun. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you all next video.